Hello everyone. This is going to be part 2 of the video that I just put up called I don't know what to call this. I put part 1 up and this is part 2. Anyway, again, it resonates, and with other messages that come out, I hope it helps others. And again, this isn't a personal reading. If names come out, others can have your name too. You didn't do anything. You don't do any magic, or you don't, whatever. It's not for you. Could be people around you, or I don't know. If you know about this, then I advise you to go to the authorities and make a report. And like I said in the video, the other video, if you are hiding any of these people, you will be brought down too. And like I said, if you know any of these people who are doing this kind of stuff and didn't say anything, well, shame on you. You know, thing is, it's one thing of being in fear and whatever, blah, blah, blah. With that, you need to, seek into God and Jesus and believe and have faith in them, along with, your spiritual team and your ancestors, loved ones, whatever, that they would guide you out of harm's way. It's one thing of speaking up and know when to not to, but you never confront anyone. You go to the authorities, and I said this in my other videos. That's why they're called authorities, police officers, I don't know, FBI, the SWAT team, or whatever, military, which I salute to all of them. Not the good ones. I mean, not the bad ones. No. Shame on them, too. But you get what I mean. I salute all the good ones. And there's not a lot of bad ones. There's only, I don't know, a few, they're telling me. But that's up to them. That's none of my business. But what I'm trying to say is, everyone, like I said, bitches and complains, oh, this doesn't go right, this doesn't, or, whatever, no one gets along, or this is too high, this is whatever. Well, it's up to us to make it better by spreading love, peace, kindness, whatever, helping each other out. And, speaking up, you need to know that you're absolute sure. Don't go by what others say because they'll lie. Look into it or, observe to make sure. And again, you know what I mean. But to continue with the video I did, I said that maybe I'll, put out names, but I'm going to wait for all that. Because they're going to put their names out all by themselves. They're already each turning on each other, and it's been all day that they've been trying to send stuff, making a whole bunch of phone calls. That's what I'm going to talk about a little bit about in a minute. I just don't get it. How I know it's returning back to them, and it's returning back to whoever they got. It doesn't matter who you get. It's still going to get returned back to you too. And that's what I said in my other video. Doesn't matter, but worse. But doesn't matter if, you're too weak and you need to get somebody. But that's again, everyone knows right from wrong. If you're helping these people, then that means that you don't care either. And that you've never been in other people's shoes. It doesn't matter, like, you're throwing all that kinds of stuff to, others, and myself, but you don't care what they have to go through, what you send, because you don't have to. Well, right there, you're wrong. Because what you put out comes back. And plus, I already said this in my other video. You never know what people are going through. Could be the same that you went through. I'm not saying that it's easy to heal yourself. As long as you have, like I said, heaven above to help you, it will, be a little, less pressure, or whatever, how you want to say it. You know, I didn't say that it was easy for me, especially when, like I said, back then, nothing was around that I had to learn on my own. There's plenty now. And I spoke about, stop repeating. I think that was in this video, the video that I just put up. I know it was the one before it. But the thing is, I got a lot of calls. One said, that came up, not in service. Wow. Huh. And then I got another call, and I took it 2 ways. It was a pharmacy. And they did say, they gave me 2 different names. A Michael and a Sawyer or something like that. I forget, but it was something like that. Now, like I said, all phone calls gets transferred to me. Well, that one I called. Now, it could be that it was a person who works there that decided to look me up and the call and said, we have a question about your, and then they gave me a Michael, your prescription. Now, I don't know who these people are. So, when I called back, it could have been, the ones who, use other names and when you call back, you actually get them instead of the real place. But anyway, because that's what you do. And I know these groups, some know people who work in, the call centers. Some, are really good with, tapping into things. I think it's called IT or something like that. I don't know what that is. IT, I don't know. So it answered that I know that name. I don't know what prescription, was picked up or whatever. I know that, you think you're going to use it and everything. Not on me. Or whatever. Doesn't matter. Because God saw everything. I don't care what church you belong to, because that's one of the groups. And I'm going to say, my Father knows who you are. Matter of fact, all of you. I mean, I don't. I mean, he can see everything, because, but the person that has a sharp mind had a sharp mind, now he's up in heaven. Wow. So he's like God. He could see everything. Can't get rid of evidence either. Not with my dad. Well, my dad's. Because they'll just take whatever you tried to get away, get rid of, and give it to the authorities. I explained that in my video too. So, like I said in my other video, I was going to give one name at a time each time I came on. But now I won't. Unless they tell me to. I mean, I was told to say that. Now, I don't give a crap if you are jealous of me. Now I'm talking about all the groups. And this is like really for anyone, I guess. You should never hold a grudge, or you should never be jealous of anyone. One, I don't know why these people that I don't know are jealous of me or have a grudge against me or whatever. I don't know why. And I don't give a flying blank either. That's on you. I didn't give you a reason to be. And even if I knew you, I wouldn't give you a reason to be. No one's perfect. No one's better than anyone. When I see somebody, like, I don't know, doing something, it's like, wow. I'm proud of that person. You know, I would say, wow, I don't think I could do that. You know, when I see something, it's like, oh, wow, I don't care who you are. It's like if I see something and, you know, I like it or I'm amazed by it, which that song I just heard. Love that song. And that goes out to someone. Um, I'll say, wow, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of anybody who, works on themselves and does good. And I'm not the only one that's proud of you, when you do stuff like that. At least you attempt to do something and you keep going. Heaven is proud of you. But when you do something intentionally, to harm people, steal from them, do magic, and etc., etc., etc. No, they're not. And like I said, I am no better than anyone. I will never, think that, say that. I try to do, my best. But for, a long time, I had to even work harder because of, all this bullshit. Don't get me wrong. I know I will be, constant, this comes with the territory that I chose to do. But not like this. And when you thought that, by doing all this, that I wouldn't be, woken up and realizing, well, next time, don't think. Think about what will be coming back to you. And it's not pretty. And that quote wasn't from me. Again, it's not my problem that you chose what you chose. I'm told somebody said, well, if he was still around, we would be in line. Whatever. Bullshit. No, you wouldn't. I mean, that goes for the other groups too. But some of you, we just happen to, I don't know, like, knew the same person or whatever. But I still don't know, this was years ago that I knew that person. So, you chose the wrong path. And you're all pissed off because you can't bring both of us down. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I knew of you. I looked up to you. But I don't know you. And none of you know me. Not at all. So don't pretend that you do. And the ones that got caught up with all the lies that were told to you for you to join them, well, again, shame on you. You should have asked me if it was all true or whatever. So now, thanks to them who got all these people, whoever brought you in with them, well, I guess they didn't tell you, by you helping them doing what you're doing, that, whatever karma they had is on you now. And whatever you did, you brought karma on yourselves. And now you have your own bloodline involved. So I guess they didn't tell you that. But you do know tarot readers and all that. You have a computer. Okay. And I'm told you know how to use it. You see, I didn't. And I still don't know how. Don't know about platforms or channels or whatever you want to call them. But somehow I still was able to, look things up to help me. See, since I was young or whatever, I knew. Because I've seen it so many times. You never judge a person and you don't believe what people tell you, especially when the one that they're talking about isn't there to defend themselves. Now I'm going to say, these ones who, got all of the others, if they talk about me, what does that tell you? They're probably talking about you too. Because, you said something or you didn't want to do something or whatever. So they got pissed off. See, that's how it works. What I've seen, as I was growing up. And whoever I saw, whatever, and I watched it happen, I also noticed not one ever went to that person that they were talking about to ask. They just followed. And just did, whatever, knowing that it was wrong, didn't care. Okay. And I'm also told, what? Oh, I'm also told it doesn't matter. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter either. I don't give a crap if you're on drugs or not. That's one of the reasons why, you don't think right. And don't take that wrong. It's one thing if you take drugs because, but if you're helping yourself, that's another thing. I'm not talking about ones who I know it's hard. I'm not talking about you like that. I'm talking about these groups. Oh, and I'm also told, because I said that, don't think that you're going to blame it on that. That's why you did it. I know every trick, how you think you're going to get away with it. Now, I asked, and I said it, and I told you, try to get help. There's plenty out there. I mean, I tried. But because, you didn't want to listen to me, I was told to walk away. I had no choice. And when I didn't, well, somebody blocked everybody. I don't know who, and truthfully, I don't care. But I know the one who took my pages, like I said in my other video, blocked everyone. Even the fake name that you used blocked me there too, along with the others. But I don't care. Because I'm not the one that did anything wrong. And like I said, you all know better. It's not my problem. And it's not others that you've done it to. It's yours. So wherever you're going to end up, I hope you take the time to correct all of the karma that is coming back to you, and you get help. And that doesn't mean that, by me saying this is that it's another warning. No. And by me saying it, is it, oh wow, she, is still helping. Oh, that's going to slow things down. No. I already spoke to God. We settled it, and everything's in His hands, and all of heaven. Oh yeah, and the underworld. So I said, you do whatever you want. So I can't stop anything. Well, I can, but I won't. God won't let me. So again, you should have left me alone, among others. You were warned about that too. And you were also warned. See how, pissed, I'll say, heaven and the underworld is? You see, with God's help, I got that under control. See, it might be a little bit worse, I don't know. I had a temper like my father. And yes, I got that controlled. But I also said, if I got the okay from God, that won't be under controlled. And that would be the wrong thing to bring out on me. Especially when I hear or I see that you're trying to do something to others. So, and again, it's not my fault that you mess with the wrong person. You were brought to me because I'm able to bring you down. And I'm planning on it. With every person, my team, heaven, the underworld, my hidden help, we will bring you down. And you are going to be an example to others. And I'm hoping with your example that they would know better. So, every trick that you tried to do, it's been done before. Might not have been you or whatever. It's the same thing that others do. It's like, I don't know, a fad or a phase or whatever. I heard it, seen it, been there. And maybe if you, maybe that's where you get it from, like I said. You see, when, our families used to get together, they would talk about, oh, yeah, we did this when we were younger. I'm talking about, the older, our parents and their parents or whatever. They used to get, I never met my grandparents except for one. And, that was also prevented to see. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, all of you took what they used to do that actually harmed people. Me, when I heard the stories, it was funny to me. It's how you take things. I took it as being funny. You took it, in a negative way. to, do eventually, to harm somebody or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. You need to, know the difference, to help yourself change your own mindset to more positive, as you grew up. I don't know how you grew up or whatever. This is for anybody. What was said to you as young, all the lies or whatever to make people, go against you. It's in a lot of families, that family, are jealous of each other or mad at each other. Like I said, it repeats. Well, none of it's gonna be with my family. So, if you like it to be, keep it with you and your family. Don't try to, coerce, or try to get others to be like that. This way, you won't be alone, feeling that way. Now, I'm sorry that all this, with some or whatever is triggering or whatever. Yes, I know what that's like. Because by me talking about it, yes, it's triggering a lot. Just remember, there's a lot of help out there. And more good you do, and more, you just smile at somebody. That, they smile back or whatever. You made that person's day. It's not going to, happen overnight that you're going to be, it depends on a person, how quickly. But more you work at it, better it becomes. I saw something and I was reading, it was something, you take one step in front of the other, and I heard laughing, and I knew why, because I saw a picture of it. I'm like, I started laughing when I read it, because I took it a different way, but I still think it was funny. We were laughing because how I am and how I took it, one step in front of the other. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, if I did that, I would be tripping because, that's what I do. I not accident prone. I forget what my dad used to call it. But anyway, never mind. That's our sense of humor. I thought it was funny. But you know what I mean. You take day by day, second by second. Because I'm going to say, if you don't start trying, yeah, it depends. Now, if, you know, someone's abusive and all that, no, I'm not telling you to stay with that person, talk to them, or if they did magic on you or prevented you from something, no, you don't stay with that person because they'll butter you up, pretend that they're going to stop or whatever, and then they continue. I'm not saying that. You know, and if you got or you're still around, you know, your grandparents or your parents, whatever, and they're good to you and blah blah blah, but you don't visit them, you don't help them out or whatever. Well, that's what I'm talking about in my other videos. You know, everybody's always on the go doing something, but they forget about breaking bread with each other. You know, and then hopefully not, as the saying goes, God forbid. You know, it's always when something happens and they pass away or whatever, I should have. Oh, I didn't get to spend more time or whatever. Everyone should get together and spend time with each other instead of arguing or, you know, you have to make the time, especially with family. You know, I said, you know, and get to know people. Have block party or something to get to know your neighbors or whatever. And again, you know, like I said, you'll know what person is against you and whatever. And if it's neighbors or whatever, you know not to bother with them. You get what I mean? You do try to do good deeds and everything, but always make time for your family. Also, my grandparents passed away, you know, when I was born. So I didn't get to meet them. Everyone else did. But apparently, you know, they didn't care to know them either. Because when I asked about them, they didn't know anything. You know, my dad knew, and some of his siblings, because they also spoke the language. But you get what I mean. Because you never know. Life is, you're supposed to enjoy it. And this is why I'm saying you need to make the world better. This way everyone can enjoy it. Because you never know. Stop, harming people or, bringing in innocent people. Try helping. And I'm not even going to get into why things are so, so high. Where people, are struggling. That's why people never, visit anybody, because they have to, work, like almost 24/7. Because things are so high. And that's ridiculous. I don't know where that accent came from, but anyway, that didn't come out right. I don't know. But you get what I mean. It's all Oops. All right, I'll get that. It's all uncalled for. I don't buy eggs, but I heard that it's up to what? $10 or something like that. It's like, come on. And I feel sorry for the ones that can't get out and they have to use these I don't know what they're called, but you know it's ridiculous. Six things cost almost $200. Are you for real? I mean, everyone's struggling, but you know stuff that you, never mind, I'm not even going to get into it, but you get what I mean. There is so much that people are not noticing that needs to be, I don't know how you would say it, addressed to help make it better. And okay, and to let you know others know, I'm not here to take over anybody's jobs. Okay, I don't know how everyone's job works. So by me suggestion, yeah, suggesting, like before, how to make it better, that's not by me, because you know yeah, I did every single different type of job, but that was years ago. I mean, maybe if, I got someone showed me again, I'll probably pick it back up. But I've been away from, you know, different things. So I'm getting these ideas from up above. So don't think that I'm telling you what to do. No. And no, I am not going to think, you're thinking that I want to take over your job. No. I have my own job. I have my own business that I have to take care of. I don't need to take care of yours and whatever else. That's another thing that people, get grudges or pissed off about and all that, thinking that, people are going to take their place, or people are going to take their job, or whatever you think. Well, if you continue to keep thinking that, guess what you're doing? You're putting it out there. Even though that heaven above knows exactly what you really want and all that. But if you constantly keep thinking that way, there will be a lesson for you to learn. Meaning, well, they think that. Well, let's make it happen. Don't blame them. It was on you. And this is why I said you need to change your mindset. Now, when others talk about you in a bad way, oh, heaven knows about that too, you know. Those people, you know, God knows that, well, like, okay, how to explain it. I know people talk about me. One, heaven lets me, hear it sometimes. I could care less. But they know that I have, a good heart, and that I would never, say anything about anybody to, wish harm or whatever. But the ones who are talking about me, he knows if they mean it or not. And it gets them automatically back to them. So when people say, watch what you say, well, there's a reason. Which I never understood why people would say that and not explain. But hey, they're not me. So I think this is long enough, but I'm supposed to, just come on, just start talking about whatever. And I don't know, part two, this is part two. It was supposed to be a little short, but I kept hearing things that they wanted me to talk about. But again, watch what you do and you put out there, especially with magic. It's not only with magic, it's what you say too. And again, like I said, heaven above knows. When people just talk or whatever. But that's all I can say about that. So this is why I always said, even way before I did all these videos, watch what you say. God sees everything. Because, if you don't watch what you do, you never know who you will run up against that could bring you down when it's time. To make you know that, well, now it's time. You're not getting away with anything. You might have gotten away with it, along the way. You never know when it's going to hit you. And when you do, things like, to off people, or, as they say, death rituals or spells or whatever, or other things. You don't know when it's going to come back to you and how bad. So I would say be prepared. But this, well, from what I am told, you're not going to be prepared. So I guess all those times that you thought, you were cloaked, sneaking around, spying on me, thinking that you were hiding in the shadows. I can continue. That God didn't see you. I didn't see you. Well, this you're not going to see till it happens. That's what I'm told. So, what could I say? It's on you. And, oh well, it's not my problem. And everyone will know. But anyway, sending lots of love, peace, and light. And everyone have a good day. Ciao.